insults, to racial, sexual, and religious chauvinism, to rabid nationalist fervor, are beginning not to work.
Business of who I am and whether I'm good or bad or achieving or not, all that's learned along the way.
Just a ride. And we can change it anytime we want. It's only a choice. No effort, no work, no job, no savings of money.
I realized that I had the game wrong. That the game was to find out what I already was.
Since the true Messiah has to rule the world from Jerusalem, the false Messiah has to do the same thing. In order for him to rule the world from Jerusalem, the false Messiah will, number one, have to liberate the Holy Land. That was done in 1919. Already accomplished. Number two, the false Messiah will have to bring the Jews back to the Holy Land. That has already been accomplished. Gog and Magog did that between 1919 and 1948. Number three, the false Messiah will have to establish a state of Israel in the Holy Land and get the Jews to be convinced that this is the Israel of David and of Solomon. May Allah's blessing be upon them. This has already been accomplished in 1948. The false Messiah will have to get that state of Israel to become the ruling state of the world, and that's why you had September the 11th. September the 11th was meant to be the catalyst which will deliver to Israel the status as the ruling state. Banu Israel would not be European Jews. And so now it is plain and clear from this hadith that as they pass by the Sea of Galilee, they drink the water, that Gog and Magog are essentially located originally amongst the European Jews of the Kheta tribe. There's a very interesting book that I like to recommend to you to read. It's called The 13th Tribe. The 13th Tribe. On the internet, you can read the whole thing on the internet. Maybe perhaps use www.13tribe.com. Cannot defeat that civilization. It is a civilization which is constantly expanding, creating carbon copies of itself all around the world. So you have Chinese Gog and Magog now. You have Japanese Gog and Magog now. You have Pakistani Gog, plenty Pakistani Gog and Magog now. You got African Gogs and Magog now. Wherever in the world power now exists, power is now in the hands of the children of Gog and Magog. Around the world. Anytime power is in the hands of those who have righteousness and faith, they will be destroyed. They will not be allowed to keep power. You cannot be a man of faith, and you cannot be righteous in your conduct, and still maintain power in the world. When Gog and Magog are released, they'll sweep you away. And so you cannot establish Islam as state. When you see the Jews brought back to the Holy Land, remember it is impossible for anyone to establish Islam as a state, as government, on the face of the earth. You'll be destroyed. You can establish Islam in the periphery, but not in the center. And that Islam will be tolerated so long as it does not threaten the center. And so when your Jews and non-Jews are released, then the world is going to witness the whole world coming together as one global society. What you in Singapore call globalization. But that one global society, as it emerges, will cause fear in the hearts of those who follow Muhammad ﷺ, because he has said to them, he has said to his followers, that 999 out of every 1,000 on the earth are going to become a part of that global society, globalization, and they're all going into the hellfire, their excellencies and all. The only one who will survive and who will enter into the heaven will be the one who will resist becoming a part of the global society of Gog and Magog. He will be able to successfully resist because he follows Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. Great is the wisdom of Allah. that the world should end with such awesome drama. Great is the wisdom of Allah that the world should end with such justice. Only those who follow the truth can survive the storm of God. And from this lecture may emerge the Muslim community which comes out of Surah Al-Kahf. You may establish that. You don't have the land in Singapore to do that. Forget it. Forget it. You have to go and look for land where land is cheap, where there is water. Where land is cheap and where there is water. And there you build a Muslim village. And you can then in that Muslim village, when a man marries a woman, a young man marries a young woman, how different it's going to be. When they come together, they will pray, "Oh Allah, give us a son, give us a child who will grow to one who will fight battles for you." And when that child is born, the husband and the wife will now come together to ensure that that son grows up like a strong tree. The child is fed with the Quran and the Sunnah and the Masjid, because the Masjid is in the heart of the village. And from the Muslim village will emerge the warriors who will liberate. The Prophet said, when you see the black flags coming out of Khorasan, go and join that army, even if you have to crawl over ice. Because no one will be able to stop that army until it reaches Jerusalem. And please remember my words. When you search for the one who would be a guide to you, who would be a teacher to you, whose judgment you're going to trust. When you search for a leader, for a teacher, for a guide, ask yourself, is this the kind of man who will crawl over ice to go and join that army, which will liberate the Holy Land? If this is not that kind of man, then let me go search for someone else.
The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society. And we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings. For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means for expanding its sphere of influence, on infiltration instead of invasion, on subversion instead of elections, on intimidation instead of free choice. It is a system which has conscripted vast human and material resources into the building of a tightly knit, highly efficient machine that combines military, diplomatic, intelligence, economic, scientific, and political operations. Its preparations are concealed, not published. Its mistakes are buried, not headlined. Its dissenters are silenced, not praised. No expenditure is questioned, no secret is revealed. That is why the Athenian lawmaker Solon decreed it a crime for any citizen to shrink from controversy. I am asking your help in the tremendous task of informing and alerting the American people, confident that with your help, man will be what he was born to be, free and independent.
We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations. When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founder.